As I'm working on my 1966 F100, one of the things that I'm doing in this project is replacing the core support. I bought this core support from Auto Crafters. I'm pretty happy with it so far. The thing though that I've run into two different problems, and I wanted to share those with you so that those of you who do this may find help here with it. Now, when I bought this, this core support came with these flanges on it. They were spot welded in here like this. And therefore, the different applications, if there's a radiator that bolts to the outside of this, but my radiator bolts right up to the core support here. So it's farther forward. So what I did is I just drilled out the spot welds that were holding this on, took them off, and then I took the core support down to my auto shop, and they have a welder, and they welded up the holes here because I'm going to have to drill a couple of holes here to mount my radiator. But that cleaned that up, and on both sides, you know, they just welded up those holes and ground them down, and then I painted it. So that's one of the things that I ran into, that you may find that if you buy one of these, you have to take that flange off in order for your application to work. The other thing has to do with these bushings that the core support sits on, okay? So some of the things that I watched on YouTube, when I took this apart, it was at night and everything was very rusted, and I really didn't remember where the bushings, how the bushings went. But some of the ones that I've watched showed people installing it with the core support on top of this bushing, and then the other bushing going down below the frame. And that may be the way it works, but that just doesn't make sense to me since there are two bushings. It seems to me that the bushings should sandwich the core support. So I put the second bushing up here on the top, and then put the washers down on that. The problem is this hole is not big enough for the bushings to fit in their original state, so I had to cut just about 1/4 of an inch off of each side of the bushing to get it to fit down inside that hole. Same thing here with this other side. And then the original washers that came with the core support replacement, I used the original ones on the bottom, but on the top here again, these washers are about 2.5 inches in, what is that, diameter, and that's too big to fit in this hole. So I just went down and I bought a couple of washers that are 2 inches in diameter, and they fit perfectly in that hole. And then I used the second washer that came with the kit. And that way, you know, the core support is resting on that, but then the other bushing is up on the top. I don't know that that's right, but that makes sense to me, and that's the way I'm doing it. So I hope you have good luck with your 66.